up on global business. Market commitment. China's securities regulator pledges to maintain stable operation of the capital market, prevent risks, and strengthen regulation. AI boom. WAC 2026 sees more than 20 billion yuan worth of intended procurement deals reached during the event, a 25% jump from last year. And final whistle. The FIFA World Cup comes to an end with Spain taking the honors. We'll assess the economic impact of this year's expanded tournament. Good evening from Beijing and welcome to this edition of Global Business on CGTN. I'm Lulu. China's securities regulator on Monday pledged to make every effort to maintain stable market operations in the capital markets while advancing efforts to prevent risks, strengthen regulations, and promote high-quality development. Wu Qing, chairman of the China Securities Regulatory Commission, made those remarks during a symposium involving investor representatives in Beijing, where he sought input and suggestions on fostering the stable and healthy development of China's capital market. Participants said that although the A-share market had recently come under some pressure from external risks and other factors, its long-term positive outlook remains unchanged. And they also called for measures to attract more medium and long-term capital into the market, improve regulation of quantitative trading and AI applications, encourage higher dividend payouts by listed companies, and impose tougher penalties for securities violations. Wu said the Commission would work to improve the transparency and authenticity of listed companies, encourage better returns for investors, strengthen investor protection, and safeguard an open, fair, and orderly market. A wave of state-owned enterprises and listed companies have announced share buybacks, stake increases, and dividend payouts over the past 2 days, signaling strong confidence in China's capital markets. On Monday, major central state-owned enterprises including China Aluminium, CRRC Group, Nari Technologies, and China Shenhua unveiled buyback and stake increase initiatives. China Aluminium led the way with a share purchase plan valued between 1 billion and 2 billion yuan. That is between 148 million to 295 million US dollars. While NARI or Nari Technologies announced a repurchase program ranging from 500 million to 1 billion yuan. Now, those moves followed on Sunday's announcements from state-owned investment firms China Reform Holdings and China Chentong, which disclosed cumulative purchases of 50 billion yuan and nearly 10 billion yuan in central SOE stocks. Several insurers have also expressed confidence in China's equity market. China's industrial output rose 5.4% year-on-year in the first half of 2026, contributing over 35% to economic growth, official data showed on Monday. AI adoption among large-scale manufacturers has surpassed 30%. Global downloads of Chinese open-source AI models have exceeded 10 billion. Now, the country has also accelerated the technology services industry, Loop, by releasing 111 pilot platforms, as well as accrediting 14 premier and 402 standard-level tech business incubators. In the meantime, major state science and technology programs have helped drive breakthroughs in core and foundational technologies. Wang Weiming, chief engineer from the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, explains.
Exports of integrated circuits, electronic components, and wind power generators surged 88.7%. 62.6% and 35.6% year-on-year, respectively. Electronics, special purpose equipment, general purpose equipment, automobiles, and electrical machinery together contributed more than half of industrial growth, while sectors including integrated circuit manufacturing and electronic specialty materials manufacturing maintained double-digit growth in value-added output.
The 2026 World Artificial Intelligence Conference and high-level meeting on global AI governance concluded on Monday in Shanghai. Total intended procurement deals are estimated at over 20 billion yuan. That is up 25% year-on-year. The event brought together 1,568 top experts from home and abroad, with over 4,400 exhibits on display, and both the number of exhibitors and exhibition space grew by more than 1/3 compared with last year. Now, the conference facilitated nearly 3,900 investment and financing matchmaking sessions. At the closing ceremony, several outcomes were announced: a strategic financial support partnership for innovative enterprises with a committed credit line of 1.18 trillion yuan. In addition, key reports and findings on AI safety, covering agent malfunction risks and emergency response, were released. At WEC 2026, the spotlight is on a new vision of human-AI symbiosis, cutting-edge technologies from foundation models and humanoid robots to AI agents, are demonstrating how artificial intelligence is weaving itself into the fabric of our daily lives. Our reporter He Jingyi takes us inside this transformation through an AI live experiment, experiencing firsthand how humans and machines can collaborate, connect, and co-create.
At WEC 2026, one phrase keeps coming up.
Thank you, AI and coffee.
AI is no longer just a tool. It's becoming an intelligent companion.
小叶，我渴了。谢谢。
大家只需要对他说一句很简单的，比如说我饿了或者我渴了这种像自然交互的语言，它可以自主推断出你说渴了是因为你想要喝水了，那么它会去帮你把这个水在这个空间里面找到，然后再帮你再拿回来。它能够去理解你周围的环境是什么样，你的需求是什么，然后不需要你再给它下指令，才真正的能够实现我们所谓的这种智能陪伴。
我看这个摸起来就是毛茸茸的，很舒服。为什么会在材质外观上进行一个改变？
如果我们的机器人真的想要走进生活，首先它必须要是温暖的，同时的话它不能给大家太多的这个压迫感。
The robot is no longer just a cold machine of metal and steel. It features an upgraded soft wrap material with custom inner foam, making it incredibly comfortable to touch. A pat on the head is interpreted as affection, while a touch on the belly becomes a playful interaction. And this new relationship isn't limited to the physical world. In the virtual world, humans and AI are becoming co-creators.
Okay, let me have a try. So turn the dungeon into Cyber Tokyo and swap the dragon for fire-breathing delivery drone. Wow! Turned into reality.
Yeah. Cool. 它主要区别是原来的游戏，它其实是经过长时间的制作或者渲染来完成所有的视觉素材。它里面的玩法设计跟这个渲染都需要1年甚至更长的时间。但我们目前是基于一个实时视频的渲染来去制作游戏，那么可以让用户的想法言出法随，根据用户的想法跟创意来及时的做出来。
The game world is no longer a fixed product created in advance. It becomes a dynamic space that responds, evolves, and grows with human imagination. Maybe one day, we won't ask AI, what can you do? We'll ask, what can we create together?
He Jingyi, CGTN, Shanghai.
Artificial intelligence is advancing at an unprecedented pace, but as AI goes global, innovation is no longer the only hurdle. Ensuring that AI is safe, responsible, and trustworthy has become a defining challenge for this industry. Our reporter Wang Tianyu visits the exhibition to see how Chinese companies are marketing their AI services to the world. Take a look.
Chinese AI isn't just selling at home anymore, it's shipping out. Robots, glasses, and services all headed overseas. The question isn't whether China can build AI, it's whether the world will buy it. For Baidu, one of China's leading AI companies, one answer is AI agents. Its product Midu allows users to create mini programs, websites, and video games simply through natural language instructions, without needing to write code.
We try to localize our technology, including cloud services and data storage, so users don't have to worry about privacy and permission issues. We also collect feedback from local users and keep improving our products.
But going global also means understanding differences between markets. Baidu says China's mobile-first ecosystem is very different from overseas markets, where websites remains a major way for people and businesses to interact online. Beyond AI applications, the technology is also reshaping how Chinese companies go global. eClickTech, an AI-powered advertising service provider, is using AI to help businesses manage advertising, data, and operations across multi-global platforms.
It's not about how many tools you have. It's that none of them talk to each other. AI only gets powerful when it's connected to the data. Privacy issue is a very important issue here. We need to build it in from day one because people, they trust the technology, respect their boundaries.
At WAIC, Chinese companies are looking for ways that makes their AI products more trusted and beneficial for users around the world. Wang Tianyu, CGTN, Shanghai.
You're watching Global Business, and still to come on the program. Final whistle. The FIFA World Cup comes to an end with Spain taking the honor. We'll assess the economic impact of this year's expanded tournament.
The world economy as we know it is about to change. Global business reports highlight emerging markets, developing countries, and dynamic sectors worldwide. We feature top analysts and newsmakers to provide perspectives on every facet of business. From an on-the-ground perspective, we provide you with balanced and objective assessments. Fast, sharp, and insightful. Global Business. Only on CGTN.
Shifting gears to Europe now, British Labour Party leader Andy Burnham has officially become the UK's new Prime Minister after King Charles III invited him to form a government. Burnham has addressed the nation from outside number 10 Downing Street. He takes over from Starmer, who formally tendered his resignation to the King earlier today.
I know people at home are fed up with politics. I hear you, and I want to be honest with you. We have not been good enough, and we need to be better. We will be. We will make this moment a circuit breaker for Britain, bringing forward the biggest changes in the last 40 years. A new political model and a new economic model.
And in an interview with CGTN, an economic and political strategist said the new UK Prime Minister faces a high-stake test as mounting pressures on the British economy demand swift and decisive actions.
When you look at the dashboard across the entire of the British economy, you have that very dimly lit green light concerning growth, which is positive, but that growth is only positive on paper. When you start to dig a little bit down, you find a lot of issues and a lot of problems around the entirety of the British economy. For example, unemployment, 4.9%, that's 1.7 million people unemployed, an upward correction of 124,000 more people than last year. Wow. The economically inactive population has reached 9.14 million in the last year as well. Inflation 2.8% when it had a target of 2%, and the fiscal position is further weakening. We're talking about a debt that represents 95.1% of the GDP, the worst it has been since the 1960s. And on top of that, we're talking about a country that is severely exposed and vulnerable in terms of the volatility of the world, because it's a net energy importer. So there's this political turbulence comes across an already very delicate economic situation, and the new prime minister will have to be able to ride and surf all these challenges and confronting a severely short blanket problem.
After 104 matches in over 39 days, the 2026 FIFA World Cup has come to a close, with Spain defeating Argentina 1-0 in the final to claim the championship. And beyond the pitch, the tournament has proven to be a major economic engine. A joint FIFA-WTO social-economic impact analysis found the expanded 48-team, 104-match World Cup is expected to generate more than $80 billion in global economic output and contribute close to $41 billion to global GDP. Now, this event is projected to generate $20.8 billion in labor income and support 824,000 full-time jobs worldwide. The report also highlighted the broad social and economic benefits expected from the 2026 World Cup, spanning tourism, sports, and entertainment. And FIFA World Cup sparked a surge in related merchandise sales as well. According to a report from a shopping information platform, search interest in different team jerseys soared, with Argentina's home kit ranking 6th in total gross merchandise value and among all sport apparel categories during China's 618 shopping festival. In the meantime, Germany, as a traditional football powerhouse, saw its related consumer GMV jump by over 100%, and the overall GMV for World Cup merchandise surged over 190% month-on-month. Partner's World Cup-themed Labubu collectibles have also gave the brand a significant boost, driving its GMV up by about 145% from the previous month. And for those watching at home, big screen TVs became the centerpiece of the viewing experience, with television GMV rising roughly 26% on a month and projectors up nearly 60%. And this year's games may have come to a close, but a different kind of football fever is gripping China that is fueled not by international stars, but by homegrown regional tournaments. Events like the Jiangsu Football City League, the Sichuan City Football League, and Northeast China Football League are staging their own competitions, drawing inspiration from global showpieces like the World Cup and Super Bowl. And much like their global counterparts, these leagues boast elaborate opening ceremonies, dazzling halftime shows, and electric stadium atmospheres with hundreds of thousands of fans scrambling to snap up every last ticket. Thanks to affordable pricing and a strong sense of local pride, grassroots football is being transformed into a nationwide phenomenon. And in China's far northeast, where winter temperatures can plunge to minus 30 degrees Celsius, and the economy has been struggling for years, a new spark of vitality is emerging. The inaugural Northeast Super League is now underway, and with that, the region's passion for the beautiful game is roaring back to life.
The 2026 World Cup just wrapped up in North America. But here in Northeast China, the football season has only just begun heating up. The Northeast China Football League is China's first city-based tournament that crosses provincial borders. 4 regions are playing: Liaoning, Jilin, Heilongjiang, and Inner Mongolia. A ticket costs less than $3. But fans are not just here for football. Show this ticket at the Shenyang Imperial Palace, and you get in for free. Use it at hotels and restaurants, and you get discounts. Buy a match ticket, and the whole city opens up to you.
The ticket allows us to visit attractions such as Shenyang Imperial Palace and Marshal Zhang's mansion, all of which have discounts. This is something we particularly like. So, taking advantage of the weekend, we should have a good time in the area.
We can enjoy discounts on food, drink, and entertainment with our ticket. Roughly calculated, it feels like this trip will save 400 to 500 yuan for me. This type of competition model has been touted a success. It is organized and promoted by local governments, widely participated by communities, and closely linked to culture, tourism, and businesses. Since the launch of the Jiangsu Football City League in 2025, this competition model has been widely adopted by other regions as a way to drive consumption, boost the economy, and enrich the lives of the people. The emergence of the regional football leagues has also encouraged cultural exchanges between cities. We have nearly 20 people here. We hope to use regional football leagues to improve the exchanges between cities and deepen the bond between people. These competitions are just as popular as the World Cup among local fans. We can enjoy intense and exciting matches and their atmosphere right at our doorsteps. This is one of our original goals for football.
We have experienced Northeast China-style bathhouses and night market barbecue. The football culture and heritage in Shenyang are very good. And this time we are here specifically to watch the Northeast China Football League match. The overall travel cost is approximately 3,500 yuan.
Outside the stadium, thousands of second venues have emerged alongside the core business district, with supporting services such as specialty catering, cultural exhibitions, and exclusive match viewings. Every weekend, cities have become like giant live streaming halls. Every stall is bustling with activity and thriving business.
Business has been very good recently. Since the start of the Northeast China Football League, the customer flow in our entire neighborhood has increased significantly. For our store, the revenue has increased by 10%.
I am a Korean who came specifically from Nanjing to watch the match of Northeast China Football League. I really like it here. It's very lively and fun. I like to eat Northeastern-style pork belly and iron pot stew, which are particularly delicious.
For years, this region struggled with a shrinking population and a slowing economy. Now, a football ticket is pulling people back in. The World Cup is over, but in this corner of China, the season is just beginning.
And now to understand the World Cup economics, we're now joined by Professor Liu Dongfeng, Dean of Graduate School at Shanghai University of Sport. He also serves as the Vice President of the International Sports Economists Association. Mr. Liu, thank you so much for joining us on the program. So we do see record high revenue of the 2026 World Cup. Do you think FIFA's current revenue sharing model is sustainable long-termly, and how can host nations claim larger gains?
Thanks for having me. I believe the sustainability of FIFA's revenue sharing model will depend on several key factors. On the one hand, it depends on FIFA's revenue generation capacity. The 2026 tournament saw significant revenue growth, driven largely by the expansion of the event to 48 national teams and joint hosting by 3 North American countries. On the other hand, it depends on whether FIFA can balance the interests of its major stakeholders, including host nations. A notable issue here is that host countries must bear the major costs of event organizing, including infrastructure and facility building and renovation, while receiving little to no direct revenue from FIFA. That being said, achieving any real change to current revenue sharing arrangement for host nations is highly unlikely, as demand and competition for World Cup hosting remain strong among nations. So I think a more pragmatic approach is to strengthen legacy planning and event leverage. Thank you.
And also during this year's World Cup, we do see booming sales of player cards, trendy toys like the World Cup themed the Labubu, and also co-branded goods. Fans seems like they're shifting from basic purchases to emotional consumption. Do you think this is a trend that is long-lasting or a market change?
I believe this is not just a temporary consumption boom driven by the World Cup, but rather a long-term transformation of the sports market that will continue to gain momentum. As sports culture has become more deeply rooted, today's fans have built stronger emotional bonds with their teams, players, and the World Cup brand itself. Consumption of related merchandise has become an important way for fans to express their support and preserve their personal memories. So in other words, these products have evolved from just physical goods into carriers of personal emotion and collective memories. In addition, the development of digital technology has further boosted this trend by extending the value of these products far beyond the duration of the tournament. Therefore, this emotional consumption trend would continue to prevail in the sports market long after the World Cup, thus becoming the new normal for sports-related consumption. Thank you.
And also, how do you think can China's complete manufacturing and live stream e-commerce chains help to capture the spillover effects from the World Cup and to boost more spending in the summer?
China's complete industry supply chain and live stream e-commerce systems have already laid a solid foundation for capturing this consumption spillover. First, manufacturing enterprises can capitalize on demand for personalized, emotion-driven sports-related products and respond quickly to any market change, allowing them to capture a larger share of both the global and domestic markets. For domestic summer consumption, live stream e-commerce can accurately match supply and demand, bringing high-quality World Cup-related products from across the world to domestic consumers. At the same time, this consumption boom can also boost the growth of related product categories, including home appliances, food and beverages, and outdoor leisure products. With comprehensive advantages spanning from production to sales, we can not only gain more tangible benefits from the World Cup tournament, but also drive the long-term growth of sports consumption in China. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your insights. That's Professor Liu Dongfeng from Shanghai University of Sport for us. And with that, I'm wrapping up this edition of Global Business on CGTN. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm Lily Liu in Beijing. Till next time, bye for now.